Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with Circleworks, and I know what you're thinking. It is not Friday, but yeah, I'm a little late on this week's Fan Art Friday. I apologize for that. I had some issues to deal with, but I wanted to get something up anyway. Better late than never. So today, or this week's Fan Art Friday, belated Fan Art Friday, I'm going to be working on the Demon, Gene Simmons from Kiss. So let's go check it out. Okay, so today a Fan Art Friday drawing is going to be of Gene Simmons' Demon character from the rock band Kiss. Even if you're not a fan, you're probably familiar with the character. I mean, Kiss is pretty big, pretty larger than life. But hopefully, you know, a lot of you people out there, if you're tuning in, might be Kiss fans. I certainly am. I mean, I was a fan of theirs even before. I mean, even as a little kid, just because they were like superheroes to me, even before I even knew anything about their music and everything like that. But yeah, so anyway, and I mentioned this last week that I was planning on renting this DVD, Scooby-Doo and Kiss: A Rock and Roll Mystery, and I did, and man, it was awesome. It was, you know, it's an animated, you know, Scooby-Doo meets Kiss. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, I love both. I love both those. Is Kiss a franchise? I guess you would say Scooby-Doo's a franchise. I don't know, Kiss maybe not so much, or maybe it is. I don't know. But Kiss is a phenomenon, I guess you could say. Anyway, but so yeah, combining these two, I really liked it, and they did just an awesome job. I mean, everything. I mean, the animation was great. You know, I love the story. I loved how they fit everything together. It's still, you know, there was a time in some of the, I don't know, there was a time in some of the Scooby-Doo mysteries, like later on, where they were actually like fighting like real monsters and real ghosts, and I didn't really like that, because I like the fact that they're uncover, you know, it's a mystery what's really behind all this, and they uncover that. And you know, the problem with something like this, if you're familiar with like Kiss from the comics and all that kind of stuff, and they're kind of superhero incarnations, they have superpowers and they're from another dimension and all this stuff. So they did a really good job of keeping kind of both of those intact. It was kind of like the X-Files Scully Mulder type thing, where the kids, you know, everything they could kind of, the kids, the Scooby-Doo, the mystery gang and everything, or that what they're called? I know it's the Mystery Machines, Mystery Incorporated, yeah. So everything they could kind of explain away as, oh, it's this, it's because of this and that. But then of course there is this other dimension, and you know, to everyone else, is it a dream? Is it real? Whatever. But it was really cool how they were able to do that, and I did appreciate that. But yeah, there's so many just different references to Kiss, and just the history of the band and the music and everything. I mean, all the, you know, most of the female characters in the cartoon were named after girls from Kiss songs, like, you know, like Beth and Shandy and all that stuff. If you're a fan of Kiss, you'll know all that. But just, you know, they're a lot of it was, if you're familiar with this really bad movies, it's Kiss and the Phantom of the Park, or meets the Phantom of the Park. It's, I mean, you gotta see it to just appreciate how awful and bad and awesome it is at the same time. But it's just the movie Kiss did way back in the 70s, at the height of their popularity, and it is just so bad. But they kind of took elements from that. I mean, the whole idea of the amusement park, and there's, you know, the title of the old movie was Phantom of the Park, which it wasn't really so much a phantom. It was like a crazy mad scientist guy, which I can appreciate. But but so this one actually had like a phantom and an amusement park, and I mean, everything. They poked a lot of fun at themselves. I mean, there's the one guy. It wasn't necessarily Gene Simmons, who usually does all the, you know, promotion and marketing, and that's kind of what he's kind of known for and everything. But they had, like, I don't know, it was their manager or their marketing guy, and he's always jumping in trying to sell people, you know, knickknacks and things with Kiss emblazoned on it and everything. So that was funny. And of course, they've got to get this object and you know, away from this. The villain, the Phantom, is trying to get this. It's like a kind of like a red witch or whatever. And of course, the object they have to get is a black diamond, which is another reference to a Kiss song. But you know, there's so much, and so here's the kicker: if you're not a Kiss fan, if you're not a Scooby Doo fan, but if you are a comic book fan, specifically like a Jack Kirby fan, you got to watch this just for the scene where they go to this dimension where Kiss is supposed to be from, and I mean it is just such a huge homage to Jack Kirby. I mean I don't know if it was like, I mean it was so dead on. I mean it I don't know if they got permission from like the Kirby estate to do this or not, because it was I mean it was just everything you would expect Kirby to be. That, I mean, that whole cosmic element and just the look and the feel and the Kirby crackle going through. But they did it was set to the song "I Was Made for Loving You," which it's like from like their Kiss's like disco album. But it was just this awesome sequence, and I mean it's like the best interpretation of, without actually being like Jack Kirby, of Jack Kirby on I want to say film, but video or whatever you want to call it, digital medium. But I mean, even more than when they did some of the Kirby characters on like Justice League or Justice League Unlimited. You really got to check this out. I mean, I can't really recommend this movie enough if you're a fan of animation or cartoons or comics or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I just loved it. So, and there's, there is even a little, and I heard about this before I watched the movie, but it wasn't as much. I was hoping for a little more, but they said that they even had like a little nod to like Vinnie Vincent and Eric Carr, who were the only other characters that actually have makeup, and they had a whole, and it wasn't just other than like newer members. Now they're just wearing the existing makeup for the 4 original members, like the Catman and Space Ace and all that. But Eric Carr was the Fox, and then Vinnie Vincent was like an Egyptian type. I don't know exactly. I don't know what his name was, if he had one or what. But anyway, so I was hoping they might actually show those characters. They didn't do that, but they did kind of give a little nod to them. It's real quick. If you blink, you could miss it. But Kiss fans will probably really appreciate that. It's the scene where they're talking about the history of Kiss, and there's like this crazy lady. She's like a psychic, and she's kind of going back through the history and talking about how there's been many protectors of this, black diamond and everything. And if you look at some of the images in this book, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, that was really cool. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely a recommend from me. So yeah, I mean, I wonder if I'd almost like to buy it, I think. But yeah, really good, and really glad I had a chance to check it out. So,
excuse me, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. I couldn't help but notice that you're drawing an unlicensed version of my character, the Demon, from Kiss. And to be honest, I have a bit of a problem with that.
Oh, hey, Gene! It's a pleasure to have you on my little show here. Yeah, this is this is just something I do for fun. It's Fan Art Friday. Every Friday, I pick a character from pop culture and I draw a little, do a little doodle, a little sketch of them. But it's I mean, I'm not really like selling these or anything, or printing them or anything like that. So I mean, it's it's just kind of like a tribute.
Well, tributes I can certainly understand, but there's a right and a wrong way to go about these type of things, So, for instance, when you're Kiss, when you're the biggest and the best band in the history of rock and roll, you have a lot of people that want to pay tribute to you, understandably. But there's certain channels you have to go through. So, for instance, if you go to right now, if you wanted to give me a gift, for instance, go to kissonline.com. You'll see there's a little pull down button. You push the button that says, or the link that says, Give Kiss a Gift program. You click on the Give Kiss a Gift program, and you'll see some options there. You'll click on Gene Simmons, click on my name, and then you'll be able to, via credit card, pay $95.95 for the entry fee, and then you'll be able to give me a gift. So you can send that entry fee along with whatever drawing or whatever you're doing. Send it to me, and I'll be happy to accept that. Wow, that seems kind of pricey. I mean, it seems, just to send you a gift, though you have to pay to send you a gift. Well, of course, there's other pro plans. If you're on a budget or whatever, for instance, if you click on Paul Stanley, it's only $75.95. You can go down, Peter Criss. If you want to send something to Peter Criss, $35. And if you're really on a budget, click on Vinnie Vincent for only $9.95. You can send him a picture. You can send him this picture of me. Why would I want to send Vinnie Vincent a picture of you? Well, come on. I mean, who wouldn't want a picture of me, Gene Simmons? I mean, it's, what else can you say,
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't think I really want to participate in that type of program. Again, this is just something I'm doing for fun. I mean, I'm not, it's sort of an homage. It's a tribute. I'm a big Kiss fan, so I thought it'd be cool to just draw this. It's, I'm not trying to profit really off of it or anything like that. I mean, I suppose if somebody wanted this, I might sell the original, but I'm not planning on mass producing it or anything like that. It would just be like a commission or something like that. But I mean, surely, you understand. I mean, you've done tributes to things. I mean, I just watched that Scooby-Doo property that you did. It was awesome. Kiss meets Scooby-Doo, and then you go to the Kiss dimension, and it was so heavily influenced by Jack Kirby. I mean, I don't really understand what the difference is.
Well, you see, there's a big difference because, and I've gotten this before, people saying, that we're borrowing from Kirby or whatever with this little segment in our cartoon show, but in reality, Jack Kirby pretty much stole everything he did from Kiss.
Well, how do you figure that?
Well, think about it. So, Jack Kirby, who grew up, and when he started working, doing his little comic strips and things like that, around the same time that Kiss was forming, back around 1972, Jack Kirby introduced a character called the Demon for DC Comics. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but which demon came first? I mean, we have already been developing the Kiss concept, and sure enough, it comes out, and next thing you know, there's a book, a comic book called The Demon by Jack Kirby, and that's not, there's more to it than that even. You can look at, for instance, the Kirby Crackle that Jack Kirby's so famous for. If you look at the original makeup for the Catman that we designed as Kiss, if you look at his nose, you'll see there's a little dot there, and that's where Jack Kirby got the Kirby Crackle. That little dot right there.
That's kind of a I mean, it's just a dot.
Well, there's plenty more examples. We can go further. We've got Captain America. He's got the star on his chest. We've got the Star Child. Obviously, that came from there. Look at the Fantastic Four. How many members are there? There's a Fantastic Four. There's how many members are there in Kiss? All right, and one of them, can breathe fire, or he has fire, or something like that. It's pretty obvious where that came from.
Yeah, I don't think those dates are right. I think Fantastic Four came along a long time before Kiss, if I'm correctly.
Look, we're getting into gray areas here and there. The main thing is I'm trying to curtail all these unlicensed versions of properties I own. You go to these comic conventions and you see people selling all these, these knockoffs and things like that. If you go to a Kiss comic convention, you're not going to see that. We do things a little differently. First of all, we don't have artists selling renditions of Kiss drawings and things like that you would see at a comic convention. We only have vendors that are selling officially licensed Kiss material. And what happens is you go to one of these booths and you don't pay the vendor. You get a ticket, and then you take your lunchbox or your Kiss bubblegum, whatever you have, Kiss trading cards, comic books. Then you get a little ticket. You take that ticket, you take the item and the ticket, you take it directly to me, Gene Simmons, and I'll take the money. You get your product, and I will make sure that the vendor gets 10% on the dollar. And that's the way we do things here. So anyway, I'm just, I don't want to have to send a cease and desist, but I want you to know that I'm watching you, and I want you to, you're going to have to stop doing this. But I've got to go, so continue on and, with your thing, whatever you do here.
Well, thanks, Gene. Thanks for stopping by. So this has been another episode of Fan Art Friday. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can or YouTube or any number of these things. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see more of this, let me know. Leave a comment. I try to get back to everyone, but. Yeah, that's it for this week. And again, sorry this episode was a little late, but better late than never, and I'll be back with another one. That is all.